So let's start. Rahul, Abhinav,
Yeah.
because
Okay. Shall we
parallelly this
shall
is
we wait
also
for some
being,
more time?
uh, we can wait
Couple-
because parallelly this is also being streamed in YouTube. So many of there कि जो लोग YouTube में भी parallelly देखते हैं. So for that reason also we can start. ये 5 बज रहा है 2-4 मिनट देख लें. Rahul, because Rahul is also outside India, so it might be night time also. Abhinav, too, you are also outside country, like
Sorry.
Rahul और तुम दोनों शायद बाहर हो.
हाँ बाहर है मतलब नहीं we are actually I am at my home itself.
ओके, राहुल इज आउटसाइड कंट्री, सो उसका टाइम में भी शायद रात होगा अभी.
No, no, no. I'm not outside country. I'm outside my base location, Bangalore. I'm in Bombay
ओ
right now.
बैंगलोर में हो? तब तो ठीक ही है. नहीं तो 5 1 मतलब 5 पीस और वही स्टार्ट कर सकते, क्योंकि यूट्यूब में लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग हो रहा है तो बहुत लोग उधर भी देखते हैं. एंड पीपल कीप ऑन ज्वाइनिंग.
Okay, okay, sure. So let me start if everybody is okay. Yeah. Let me
So
introduce our
because
problem.
Abhinav is there to today take on with the session today. So I hand over the session to Abhinav on behalf of Adda
So
organizing team. Abhinav, it's over to you now.
thank you, Shambhuda, and good evening to my all the other friends and younger brothers. I would like to thank each one of you for taking out time to join this evening on this Saturday weekend. Hope you and your families are doing well. Uh, So, before we begin today's session, I would like to take a moment to pay my homage and tribute to the martyrs of Sindoor, Operation Sindoor, and the victims of Pahalgam attack. I would also like to express my deep condolence to the lives lost in the recent tragic Air India crash, and our thoughts and prayers are with them during this difficult and challenging time. So, let us observe a brief moment of silence in the memory of the souls. Uh, It's an ode to the legacy, a reflection of our shared commitments to community, empathy, and the spirit of the nation. So, thank you. So, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce someone who is not just a batchmate but also a very dear friend, Rahul Shubham, or Rahul Da, as he was popular among the juniors. I remember Rahul as an all-rounder, the truest chef, an artist, an athlete, and someone who brought boundless energy and vivacity to everything we did, even back in our school days. Whether it was on stage, on the field, or in the classroom, he stood up as someone who gave his heart in every pursuit. Today, he brings the same spirit to his professional journey, currently serving in the senior management of the UX division at HDFC Bank. He shaped digital experience for millions. Alumni of IIT Delhi Master of Design program, his carries a testament to the power of blending creativity with problem solving. And beyond the professional, Rahul remains a passionate cinephile, theater artist, and design educator, someone who truly lives and breathes the spirit of design in all its forms. So, be it classrooms, online and offline debates, or any interaction, his presence has always a depth and energy that made the conversation engaging and inspiring. So, as we step into today's theme of career prospects and design, I'm sure his voice and perspective will add depth and set the tone for Chadda. We are delighted to have him this evening, and his thoughts will resonate with many of us today. So over to you, Rahul. You can start. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhinav. Thank you very much. I'm humble and I share much my gratitude to my Vidyapit family, my batchmates, and everyone, all the country members. And yeah, to my family members, everyone. So yeah, I mean, as Abhinav has introduced me, I still find myself humble in his words and all. But all admirations and respects are very much mutual, and um, uh, I obviously pay my salutations and respect and gratitude to my institution, Ramakrishna Mission Vidyapeeth, who have taught me a lot. So and there is a major part of the development journey that I have been. It's hugely I contributed to the Vidapit life and the culture and the kind of thought process that have been invoked inside me since the early days of my childhood. So thank you everyone. Thank you for taking time to join. So today, just a brief about myself. So, as Abhinav said, yes, I was a kind of all-rounder apart from studies, but yeah, I was good and I've been like pretty much called myself average in everything. So, we have all heard about that phrase, uh, jack of all trades, master of none. So, over the period of time, I thought that the time has come. It's better to be jack of all trades than master of just one. So yeah, I'm very much proud about myself that yeah, I'm a bit of generalist over here. So I know bits and pieces about many things, many domain. I have my shared interest with many educational domains and career domains as well, which I find quite interesting. And there is a knack of like there is a hunger for knowledge. I want to know everything at some point of time. So I keep learning. That's what even in my introduction I always add. Yes, I am a designer. I'm doing UX design for the companies, creating good experiences in applications and website. But I always add one last part of it, that I'm a lifelong learner. The whole life is a kind of lesson for me. Each and every moment, each and every interaction we have, we meet with new people, new communities, new practices, new technologies. Everywhere we interact something, and everywhere where something new is introduced in our life, we definitely learn. There is no age foundations or boundaries for learning. That's what I personally believe. You can learn at any stage of your life. But I'm a graduate in mechanical engineering. So after that, I have done my Masters of Design from IIT Delhi. So why mechanical engineering? Because as Abhinav said, I was good at sketching and art back in school. And while choosing a department in engineering, I thought mechanical would be best suited for me because I'm good at sketch and somehow I will manage to clear all my 4 years of engineering with this sketching skills and all. Because somewhat in mechanical engineering, you have to use a lot of freehand sketches and drawings and everything. But over the period of time, while I was doing my job, I got up a campus placement after my college in bachelor's. So I was thinking though that this is going too much technical or a hardcore technical field and all. And it was good, but somehow I felt it was not meant for me. I was not being very much satisfied over there. And one of my good friend and batchmate, Jojit Sarkar, he was pursuing his bachelor's BTech in IIT Bombay. He introduced this department to me, and obviously we stay in connect with our on our calls and everything. He said there is a department of design in IITs, and you can definitely pursue a master's course over here. And since obviously he was my batchmate and childhood friend, and he knew that this field is something that Rahul will do good over here, and that's why he suggested that after your bachelor's completion of your BTech, please consider writing these exams and try to get admission to this Masters of Design program in IIT. So very much thankful to that. I always in my introduction I include Georgit's name because this was the person who introduced this design department to me. So yeah, post that I have written an exam called SEED, Common Entrance Exam for Design, which I will elaborate and talk about it in the session. There are many other parallel design exams as well, but yeah, seed majorly. And then I joined this wide fraternity of design, and when I have joined over here since then, I am constantly amazed about all the things that design has to offer. So till that time I was a mechanical engineering student and a professional over there. I used to know the logics of like how things are working, like by the laws of physics and mechanics and everything. But what goes behind the thought process of designing a product? By product, I mean any kind of product, even the simplest product like a pen, like a bottle, or very much sophisticated and handy device like our phones nowadays. So, so this was very much interesting part, and there is something called design thinking. How does a designer think? What goes behind? What kind of thought processes goes behind while creating such products? It's very important. Yeah, we know that it is very much convenient for us to use all these products and everything, but why particularly everything is existing at the right time or the right places in any product? What makes product very much ergonomically good for usage or aesthetically pleasing? Suppose this is a bottle, it's a half-liter water bottle. Why only cylindrical shape? It could have been any shape. It just the functionality of its this bottle is only to carry some water. It could have been any shape. It could have been square. It could have been an ellipse. It could have been of a swan shape or some bird shape or anything hollow. You can definitely contain water in it. But why only this shape? Because it's handy. As you see, I can hold it. There is a grip on it that makes the product functional. What kind of material this is used? Okay, material is plastic. Obviously, we all know that fact that plastic is bad for environment, but yeah, it's durable. It stays for longer period of time. Then there is an ease of operating also. How easily you can open this cap and drink the water. Similarly, like phone, I can hold it. It's very much handy. Why bigger phones are not easy to use? They are good for visual purpose, but it's very much tough to hold them in your hand. And a phone like device. Why the pen has this kind of shape? Okay. So these questions, what is being answered in design thinking? That's what I got to know. And then user experience design is the domain which is essentially I am part of. User experience, what is use? This term was very much new to me. So user experience is a term. The Don Norman was a person who introduced this term to us. User experience. It's basically a product has many users. So if a user is using that particular product, and if there is an enhancement in their usage or in their experience of it, after using it, if the user feels delighted about it, क्या मजा आ गया काम करके, मजा आ गया इसको यूज करके. So what is this maza part? This is what is user experience. So I wish this session could have been an interactive one. I have recently taken one session in an international school. Again, Prashanti Pravalda, one of our alumni, he asked me to give a session, a refresher session on design for the career opportunities to class 12th grade people and all, so that they can choose their career or develop some entrepreneurial skill over here. That was an interactive session. So what clicks your mind when I use the term design? So back in my days when I was in class 12th, after class 12th board, or even in bachelor till very late, for design, I always used to think design is only for like, I used to think only fashion designing is something, but which is not true. There are different domains of design. There are accessory design, there are leather design, on like jewelry design, then there is interior design, then there is fashion design, textile design, product design, automobile design. And with the advent of all these modern and digital products, the term something introduced to us was something user experience or user interface design, UX and UI. What is a very common term you guys hear these days? We basically cover this thing up in the broader term of product design. So UI and UX. Let me and I have developed a particular style when I am mentoring, when I am talking about design and everything. I used to mention relatable example. So just consider you are hungry. So hunger could be taken care by a single bread, just a roti. In Indian context, the Indian bread roti. रोटी से भूख तो चली जाती है. ओके, रोटी से भूख चली जाती है. तो रोटी इज समथिंग जिसे आपकी भूख चली जाती है, सिर्फ एक सादी रोटी. बट वो एक यूटिलिटी पार्ट है, वो एक यूटिलिटेरियन एस्पेक्ट है उस प्रोडक्ट का. ठीक है. जब आपकी भूख मिट जाती है, तब आपको, यू ऑल लाइक मेनी पीपल वुड बी वेरी मच familiar with the Maslow's law of hierarchy, Maslow's pyramid. सो यूटिलिटी पार्ट पहले, फिर बिकॉज सर्वाइवल, रोटी एक सर्वाइवल का पार्ट है, तो रोटी पहले जरूरी है. अगर आपकी भूख मिट जाती है रोटी से, तो फिर आपको नेक्स्ट लेवल का ख्याल आता है, यार इस रोटी के साथ अचार मिल जाता, कुछ सब्जी मिल जाती है तो अच्छी चीज होती, या नमक नमक मिल जाता, घी लग जाता, थोड़ा ग्रेवी मिल जाता, तो खाने में मजा आता. नाउ दिस पर्टिकुलर मजा पार्ट ऑफ कंज्यूमिंग अ रोटी इज द यूजर एक्सपीरियंस पार्ट. ओके. भूख आपकी रोटी से मिट जाती है, लेकिन आपको सब्जी, दाल या कोई ग्रेवी क्यों चाहिए खाने के लिए उस रोटी के साथ? क्योंकि वो उसको और जायकेदार, मजेदार और आपके एक्सपीरियंस में इनहेंसमेंट ऐड करते हैं. ओके. सो दिस इज व्हाट you add a layer to it, which I called the user experience part. Okay. Functionality एक रोटी से भी हो रही थी, लेकिन थोड़ा सा एस्थेटिक उसमें और ऐड किया, तो यूजर एक्सपीरियंस भी बन गया. ओके. So, and in very, very relatable term, I can explain this user experience to you. Now, अब वो रोटी मिलेगी कहाँ? उसकी अवेलेबिलिटी कितनी है? आज तो चलो किसी ने खिला दी, कहीं खा लिया. कितनी जगह मिल सकती है, कितने तरह से बन सकती है, कितने जगह अवेलेबल है, और क्या वो यूजेबल? मान लो मैं रोटी इतनी मोटी बना दूं, वो खाने लायक नहीं रहेगी, राइट? सो एवरीथिंग हैज टू बी यूजेबल ऑल्सो. इट्स नॉट कि बस प्रोडक्ट बना दिया, भूख मिट रही है, एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा हो रहा है. It has to be usable also. That part of a product we call usability. If you have built a product which is functioning very much on utilitarian part of it, experiential part of it, then we also have to ensure the usability part of it. So ये तीनों जब कंबाइन होता है ना, तब हम कहते हैं प्रोडक्ट काफी अच्छा है. That's there. Okay. So again, one another example, how, and very small, you'll in this whole session I will introduce you to the many aspect of designs, and I'll keep on explaining with examples how beautiful things with small advents, with small inclusion of some kind of development in product, the experience is being enhanced. Now let's take example, a very common example I used to quote. This is a normal pen, ये like cap वाला pen है. So most of you will observe in pens, on the top of your cap there is always a pin hole, small hole. It's not always that it's locked. Okay, very rare, but all the small all the cap wala pen you will find there is a small hole. Now a designer thinks, like, I asked this question to myself, why this hole is there? एयर लगेगा तो अंदर का इंक भी ड्राई हो सकता है. Why they have to, was it like saving the cost? क्या कॉस्ट सेविंग का टेक्निक था कि हाँ थोड़ा सा कम प्लास्टिक यूज होगा? नो, बट इट हैज अ फंक्शनल वैल्यू टू इट. ठीक है. पेन तो टिप टॉप वाला बोलते हैं ना, वो प्रेस करने वाला बटन वाला भी पेन होता है, बट कैप वाले पेन में इट्स ऑलवेज देयर. द रीजन, बिकॉज one reason that we found in our design thinking workshops and education, this is a very small part of the pen. It's very handy. Kids, infants can get hold of this small piece of plastic. And what do infants do? Everything that the infant gets hold in their get holds in their hand, they have a habit of putting in mouth. Now that's a completely survival thing. That's a completely survival instinct. Anything you hand to any kid or baby, they will put it in their mouth. This can create a choking hazard. That's why all the instructions in all those toys, you find that 3 years plus only, 0 to 6 years only. 6 years and above, 3 months. वो क्यों दिया जाता है? Because these instructions are available to guide you how to use that product. That's also part of the user experience. सर प्रोडक्ट बना देना भी एनफ नहीं है, प्रॉपर उसके बारे में जानकारी देना भी हमें जरूरी है. So this little small plastic part can create trouble. A kid in all their innocence can put it inside their mouth, create a choking hazard, and which will require medical attention. तो ये होल इसलिए दिया हुआ है so that even if it gets stuck in the windpipe esophagus of a kid infant, through the hole, at least the wind can reach their lungs. Okay. Obviously, it would be very much trouble for the kid on any accidental scenario, but till the time medical attention and everything arrives at your doorstep and attend your kid and someone who has faced this accident, so that तब तक वो air block नहीं होगा till the time medical attention is achieved. So this is how designers think. It's a very small thing introduced in a pen cap, but it has a huge functional value. It has saved many lives, I could say. Apart from the writing functionality which a pen does, it could be red, green, blue, any kind of ink. But this small pincher and hole was created just for that. This is what a user experience. A designer has to think all round perspective about it for the usability of the product. We have to test a particular product in all the context and scenarios, all the user groups, as we call, whoever are our target users, everyone. That is why it's very important. So this is what, in a very nutshell, what I do and many user experience designers like us do. Now the term UI, this is the experiential part of it. The term UI, it's very much commonly used or everywhere. If you see in some kind of what do you say, you have vacancies or something, people used to write, I required UX UI designers. Why this term is very much used together? Because user experience design also comes with user interaction, because now I'm having human to human interaction with you people. But in modern days, with modern technology, what I'm interacting with? I'm interacting with systems, I'm interacting with machines, I'm interacting with computers. So there is term called human computer interaction. So while you are interacting with computers or system or digital portals, you need to have an interface which will allow you to connect to the users. In another relatable example, I will explain. Suppose your skeleton system, you must have studied in biology, everyone over here. The skeleton system, the structure of it, how my hands will move, at what degree of freedom this finger folds and everything. This is defined by the skeleton structure of it. Okay. My finger can fold in forward direction, not in backward direction, because the joints are designed that way. I have a ball and socket joint in my knee. It's something like that. The skin part of it, how I look, how my appearance is, my hairs, my everything. This is something interface where I interact. I can touch. You can see my skin. You can see my facial features, my eyes, my nose, everything. That is a part of interaction. This is where I interact with outside world. I interact with my five sense of organs, right? I can hear, I can speak, I can touch, I can see, I can feel. I can taste also. Yeah, I can taste. So all five sense of organs are my interaction points. How else your brain gets signal? I touch a surface, I feel hot. Then my brain says, oh, it's hot. I smell something good, I say it's a good smell. Okay. So these five sense of organs are kind of my input receptors of all the informations. Nothing else. Your computers have keyboard and mouse as your input device. This is our input things. All my five sense of organs. And with these five sense of organs, we if we are fulfilled somehow and have a good experience around these five sense of organs, then we say, oh, it's a good experience. किसी चीज को छूने में सॉफ्ट लगा, अच्छा लगा, इट्स अ गुड थिंग. किसी बहुत प्लीजेंट व्यू को देखा, सीनरी को देखा, बोलते अरे वाह क्या सीन है, मजा आ गया. अच्छा किसी की गाने की आवाज सुनने में आई, हमने बोला यार क्या गा रहा है यार. कुछ अच्छा खाने को मिला, टेस्ट किया, इट्स अ टेस्टी फूड. कुछ ऐसा स्मेल किया, इट्स अ गुड स्मेल, गुड फ्रेग्रेंस. And ऑल दिस 5 इनपुट पॉइंट से हम बोलते हैं कि यार वो जो हम वाहवाही देते हैं वही एक अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस. Okay. Now skeleton part of it, basically the UX, as your body skeleton system is basically the defines the degree of freedom. कहाँ कहाँ जा सकता है. Obviously, if my finger is this long, it will remain this long. It has a limitation to it because it is designed that way. We have an opposite thumb. It's designed that way to hold things. Okay. But UX part is contextual also. Yes, I have these fingers. I have given example कि मेरा finger सिर्फ forward fold होता है, backward नहीं. But you can see there are people who can bend it backwards and touch their wrist and everything. There are gymnasts who have added level of flexibility to it, who are a way better than a better functioning skeleton system than a normal human being because they have practiced it. They are built contextually in a way. They're built normally. They're born with all these same structures of bone and all, but with the overall. किसी जिम्नास्ट को बचपन से जिम्नास्ट बनना था इसीलिए वो प्रैक्टिस करते. That's why they can do the backward flip. But it's a contextual use. So UX can take contextual use always. And how my skin color looks and all, it's like completely user interface. Many people say, okay, this is a fair skin, this is a darker skin, pleasant looking skin, clear skin, good eyes, good nose, wherever or whatever outer you see is my user interface. That's how I will try to explain UI and UX to you. You will find many examples of UI and UX differentiation on the websites and everything. Okay. So the platform where we interact is the user interface, and how it operates, the backbone of it, the information architecture part of it is the user experience. Okay. So this is a very much quick fresher or introduction for you people who are not essentially from the design field or background. This is a very basic bare minimum I can make you explain what design is or what exactly user experience design is. Okay. So yeah, how to be a designer. As you have seen in the flyer that this session is going to be about the career prospect of design as well. Okay. But while talking about it, I will definitely keep on explaining with multiple examples of design and everything. How did one become a designer? So yes, there are lots of uh, ways that you can become a designer. Obviously, in India, you have one thing that you can pursue a bachelor degree or you can pursue a master's degree. Then there are UX courses, the accelerator courses over there. You learn some tools, learn some foundation skills and everything. So, and one essential part of a designer becomes this: we have to be open to criticism. We have to showcase our work. Basically, it just remains idea in your head until unless you present it somewhere. So what kind of idea, how would you convey this idea? We have to build the prototypes, we have to build our what do you say, the portfolios basically a collection of all the works or ideas that I have. Okay. Also, I like to add one good definition about design. Now imagine a spectrum, a number line. Okay. At one end of this spectrum stands science, that logic part of it. At another end of the spectrum, there is art. This is the aesthetic and pleasant part of it. Okay. So if you move towards the art part of it, the product becomes more artistic. If you move towards the science part of it, the product becomes more logic. Okay. But somewhere in between to this number line, somewhere in between, design balances both. Design takes care of the logic part also, design takes care of the aesthetic part also. That is why we call design field as a very creative field. Okay. It could have been art. You have seen many portraits of great artists. I could mention a few. Okay. You have heard about Picasso. You have seen Picasso's art. You have seen uh, who is this? Even MF Hussein's art. ओके, बट आर्ट का क्या है ना, आर्ट आर्टिस्ट सेंट्रिक होता है, आर्ट आर्टिस्ट के मूड पे डिपेंड करता है. So there are art appreciation courses in France and all, because France has been the capital of art and creative works and all since long. So ब्रश के स्ट्रोक से पता चल जाता है कि आर्टिस्ट किस माइंड ऑफ स्टेट में बैठा हुआ था, स्टेट ऑफ माइंड में बैठा हुआ था. ब्रश के स्ट्रोक से भी पता चलता है कि आज वो डिप्रेशन में था, या ये वाला किस थॉट में बनाया है, बिकॉज दैट्स व्हाट आर्टिस्ट डू, राइट? They have an idea, they portray, they convey their idea through poetry, through sketches, through portraits, anything. All this is the way art is being conveyed. Even poetries, there are some poets जिसका एक पर्टिकुलर स्टाइल होता है लिखने का. ठीक है, इन हिंदी वी हैव हर्ड अबाउट वीर रस. क्यों हमेशा वो इनकरेजिंग और वीर रस की कविता लिख रहा है? बिकॉज दैट्स देयर स्टाइल. उसका काम ही है कि दुनिया की में कुछ भी ऐसा अगर हो रहा है, वो इन्वायरमेंट को ऑब्जर्व करता है और उस पर एक करारा सा एक जवाब दे के आए, एक अपना वर्जन लिखता है, उस पर एक अपना थॉट डेवलप करता है, उसको पोर्ट्रे करके शब्दों के जादूगरी से उसको दिखाते हैं. वो पोएट्री है. ठीक. बट आर्ट इज ऑलवेज आर्टिस्ट सेंट्रिक. आपने बहुत सारे मॉडर्न एंड एब्स्ट्रैक्ट आर्ट यू मस्ट हैव सीन. बड़ा सा फ्रेम बना दिया, लाइक फुल ऑन वाइट कैनवास और एक ब्लैक सा डॉट मार दिया. हाँ, आर्ट है मेरा, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट आर्ट में बोलते हैं. मेनी पीपल माइट नॉट see the resemblance. I've seen many people make fun of modern arts also. But yeah, I mean that's how, I mean वो उसके मूड पे था. So that's why art is artist centric. But design is never designer centric. It's not for us we build, we design. We always design for user. So design is user centric. That's why art को बहुत लोग अच्छा बोलते हैं, समझ में आया तो अच्छा बोलते हैं, खराब भाई ये क्या बनाया बेकार है, ये क्या है, ऐसा घोड़ा थोड़ी होता है. अगर कोई पिकासो के आर्ट को देखे, क्यूबिज्म एंड ऑल को देखे, तो बहुत लगे क्या सेल्फ पोर्ट्रेट, मतलब इनफैक्ट यू विल सी पिकासो के यंगर टाइम्स वाले आर्ट ज्यादा बेटर लगते हैं एस्थेटिकली, एंड टुवर्ड्स लेटर स्टेज ऑफ लाइफ सेल्फ पोर्ट्रेट एंड ऑल देखोगे यार, इट विल लुक लाइक कोई तो ऐसे किड्स, किंडरगार्टन किड्स का ड्राइंग जैसा लगेगा. But it's not that. I mean, this is the journey of Picasso, what like he have went through and all in his life, and at what stage of life, in what, under what mindset he has created those self portraits and all, which looks very kiddish. But it's not about that. Art में brush strokes होते हैं, pencil strokes that define, वो उससे आपके कॉन्फिडेंस का पता चलता है कि कितने कॉन्फिडेंटली वो स्ट्रोक्स मारे गए. बट डिजाइन यूजर सेंट्रिक होता है. सो hence this term user centered design, UCD. There is user centered design principle. अगर आप लोगों ने सुना होगा, ये एक टर्म होता है. तो डिजाइन, देर इज नथिंग, मतलब इन माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन आई सी देर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड अ गुड डिजाइन और अ बैड डिजाइन. डिजाइन आइदर वर्क्स और इट डजंट वर्क. दैट्स द ओनली टू बाइनरी वे द डिजाइन कैन गो. अगर कुछ बनाया बट वो अच्छा नहीं बना, उसकी फंक्शनैलिटी या एस्थेटिक वैल्यू कहीं भी ड्रॉप हुई है, जैसे मैंने अभी नंबर लाइन में एक्सप्लेन किया, अगर वो बैलेंस किधर भी बिगड़ा ना, तो उसको फिर वो कहीं भी वो लॉस हो, कि कोई प्रोडक्ट्स ऐसे होंगे जो फंक्शनली बहुत अच्छे हैं बट एस्थेटिकली नॉट सो प्लीजिंग. फॉर एग्जांपल, you have these Tesla cars. What is this? Cyber cars. What is this car's name? Looks ugly. Cyber truck. Looks ugly, but it's highly functional car. Then you have these Porsches with beautiful curves and all, which is a functional car as well as aesthetically pleasing also. Okay. तो प्रोडक्ट फंक्शनल भी होते हैं, प्रोडक्ट एस्थेटिक वैल्यू भी होल्ड करते हैं, अगर, और प्रोडक्ट दोनों के भी वैल्यूज को होल्ड करते हैं. सो देर इज अ बिग डिबेट इन डिजाइन फ्रेटर्निटी. ऑलवेज पीपल यूज टू फॉर्म फॉलोज फंक्शन और फंक्शंस फॉलो फॉर्म. क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है? बहुत लोगों के लिए फॉर्म इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो फॉर्म पे फोकस रहते हैं. बहुत लोगों के लिए फंक्शनैलिटी इंपॉर्टेंट है, वो फंक्शनैलिटी पे फोकस रहते हैं. बट व्हाट इज अ बेटर डिजाइन विच कैरीज द वैल्यू ऑफ बोथ? Like again, I will give you examples of functional products, like some military equipments and vehicles, anything not so aesthetically pleasing. लोहे लोहे का, टिन टिन का, ऐसे कुछ तुमको स्ट्रक्चर देखना, बट इट्स हैज अ कंटेक्चुअल यूज. वहां पे एस्थेटिक का कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. यू कैनॉट से कि आई वांट टू बिल्ड एन आर्मर्ड व्हीकल, पिंक कलर का बनाऊंगा या रेड कलर का बनाऊंगा, येलो कलर का बनाऊंगा, समथिंग लाइक दैट. दैट्स नॉट द पर्पस। येलो कलर का बनाओगे, वॉर फील्ड में जाओगे, द एनिमी विल आइडेंटिफाई यू तुरंत से, एंड यू कुड बी एन इजी टारगेट। दैट्स वाई वो कैमोफ्लेज में बनाते हैं। वो रोबस्ट होता है, फुल ऑन स्टील एंड लोहे का, हार्ड मटेरियल का बना रहता है वो सब। बिकॉज वहां पे प्रिसीजन इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट, वहां फंक्शनलिटी इज इंपॉर्टेंट। ओके, when someone has pulled the trigger, it the weapon has to fire। वहां पे पिंक कलर, येलो कलर और एस्थेटिक वैल्यू को मायने नहीं रखती वहां पे। वहां पे फंक्शनल थिंग्स मायने रखती है कि हाँ, पकड़ में आ रहा है कि नहीं, हल्का है कि नहीं, कैरी कर रहा है कि नहीं, टेरेन को पार कर रहा है कि नहीं। एंड देन देर आर products which carries aesthetic value of it, which are which have good form factors attached to it. Your jewelry, it has very minimal of the functional value, but it's aesthetically looking good, it's pleasing. The jewelry we wear, women wear mostly, it has aesthetic value to it, functionality नहीं है, but देखने में सुंदर, but still it's a product। Okay, so this is one broader definition I can define about functionality and the form factor of it. Now, how to become a designer after class 12? Again, in my years, uh, I I I passed out my class 10th exam, gave my 10th board exam back in 2004, then 2006 class 12. Back in those days, we only used to know two fields that were very much popular: either do engineering or do medical. Okay, but now many more fields have come up: commerce, arts, design fields have come up. So how to become a designer? I'm sure 10th 12th के बच्चों को बहुत बार career guidance and all, अगर अगर आपको awareness and exposure की कमी है, then obviously you will end up going to some kind of fields which is popularized anything. So there are exams. So जैसे मैंने seed दिया, there is an exam called U seed, undergraduate common entrance of exam for design. So this is being conducted for IITs in the in India. So UCD is for undergrad program, seed is for postgrad program. Okay, so you can join this programs after your class 12th. You can write UCD, just write you people used to write JEE and advanced and everything, means. So, but this is only for getting admissions into IITs. But still, even if you have missed the bus in undergrad, no worries. If you have done it from some different stream, कोई कॉमर्स ले लिया था, आर्ट्स ले लिया था, still couldn't find, and it's okay not to be decisive। मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ it's okay not to be decisive, because क्या है ना, हम भी बहुत प्रेशर ऐड कर देते हैं कि यार कुछ डिसाइड किया, डिसाइड नहीं भी डिसाइड किया, इट्स ऑल्सो अ गुड थिंग। यू जस्ट हैव टू मेक पीस विथ योर सेल्फ ओवर हियर। एंड गुड थिंग इज दैट कि सीड में, द पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन प्रोग्राम में, देयर इज नो एज लिमिट। So that's good. You can be a designer, join any kind of master's program in any kind of IITs at any point of time, any stage of time, any stage of your life. It will, yes, but this is a 2 years full-time course. Okay, but this is about IITs. Some of the another exams which are already available in India. Then there are National Institute of Designs. You must have heard about this NIFT, National Institute of Fashion and Technology. The UCD is one exam, NID conducts another exam. There is Srishti Manipal School of Design, which also good design schools, Srishti Design School in Bangalore. They also conduct one exam called SMEAT, SMEAT. Okay. Then you have Symbiosis Schools of Design. You heard like Symbiosis Group of Institutions in Pune. They have SEED, SEED. Then you have Pearl Academies. They have their separate design exams. So these are quite a few like famous examinations which are conducted inside India. Okay, and anyway, you can, so like I have qualified SEED, so I'm much more confident in talking about that, how this SEED could be approached. And as I've already said, eligibility criteria is very much like you just have to have your 3 year or degree program or a diploma program after +2, and you can definitely join this master's program. And there is no age limit. That's the best part of it. Okay. I have seen people coming from Indian Navy who were batchmates of mine in IIT Delhi. Okay. So seed, let me just talk about seed a bit over here. Seed, as I have said, it has a written exam, then there is an interview part of it. So in written exam, there is part A and part B of paper. So part A is essentially something like 50 questions, 100 questions in MCQs or something in a different. There is normal, some kind of comprehensive English, jumbled sentences, some contextual questions about design and logical thinkings or logical reasonings and everything. There are different questions about it. Some general knowledge questions also about photography or design. Basically, they just want to judge whether you are accustomed to all these things or not. But one major thing that is essentially required, that you have to good in creative thinking. You have to good, even not a great artist kind of level, but you have to be fair amount or average in sketching and all. So that whatever you are thinking, क्या है ना, हमारा दिमाग में ना आइडियाज बहुत आते हैं. बट अगर उस आइडिया को बोल दो कि उसको थोड़ा सा, बिकॉज नॉट एवरी वन कैन विजुअलाइज वाइल वी आर स्पीकिंग. That's why we need all this visual designs and all. How would you convey it? This is a mode of communication, right? तो आइडिया बहुत अच्छा था, अगर कम्युनिकेट नहीं कर पाओगे तो फिर क्या, वो तो फिर आइडिया तो दिमाग में ही है ना सिर्फ. So to communicate, you should be average in sketching also. Okay, that's bare minimum ask. Because क्या है कि सिर्फ अच्छा करियर है या अच्छा डोमेन है वो सोच के अगर कूद जाएंगे और ये डिजाइन कोर्स में आ जाएंगे, तो फिर वही है ना, फिर लाइक people have a bad habit of comparing themselves. So obviously someone would be solving it better and all. Obviously you can acquire all these skills while you are in this program, but it would be a bit tougher for you if you cannot convey the ideas and communicate it creatively or by sketch. Sketch is a bare minimum, like I say, like pen, pencil, or paper, pen, something like that. You can easily quick sketching and you can convey the idea how what you are thinking about. So part A has all these written things, objective, multiple choice questions. Part B is something related to sketches. Okay. So part B has 2 or 3 questions related to sketch. Suppose what in my year I got, like there was 10 lines written in poetry and all. I have to define it, or it could be other way. One picture was given to me. There was a birthday party celebration picture that was sketched out, and we were asked to write a story. एक इस पिक्चर को देखो और 10 sentences में वो story लिखो. So that's how they judge what kind of creativity level you have. Then I had one, as I said, 3 questions. The another question was something about that there is a medicine box that you have to design, and behind that medicine box you have to pictorially represent 2 3 instructions, like before breakfast 1 pill, post dinner one pill, and it is not for pregnant women. So these 3 bare minimum instructions, how would you convey to people, I mean to the users of this medicine? So behind a cartoon we have to create, and we have to create 3 instructions in 3 comic strip वाला part. कि कैसे दिखाओगे इसको visually without using text. Okay, so this is this was another. Then was another key poster. Optional question was also there. That time India against corruption movement was very much in the out of 50 uh, part A में out of 50 you have to, the cutoff is around 31 32 something like that. So वो cutoff पार करोगे तो part B check होता है. And after this written exam, part B, part A and part B, you get your seed score, we call, which is valid for 2 years. And then you are, but it's not like CAT. CAT में क्या है कि आप फॉर्म भरने के टाइम पे ही आप लिख देते हो कौन से आईएम्स में आपका स्कोर जाएगा, राइट? वी यूज टू मार्केट आउट कि कौन से आईएम्स में चाहता हूँ मेरे स्कोर, बट इट्स नॉट दैट। सीट आप क्वालिफाई कर लेते हो, उसके बाद यू हैव टू सेपरेटली अप्लाई टू आईआईटीज। ऑल द आईआईटीज release their admission forms and you apply there. You choose the IITs. Not all IITs have design programs, but in coming days, I'm sure more IITs will join. But right now, I think there is IIT Delhi, where I have done my masters from. There's IIT Bombay, then there's IIT Guwahati, IIT Hyderabad, IIT Kanpur, IIT Roorkee also joined it. So out of these, I think IIT Guwahati, IIT Bombay, and IIT Delhi has undergrads also. There is a BDES program also, but not all IITs have BDES programs. So, but master's programs, most of these IITs have for design. Okay, this is now coming. Once you apply to these IITs in a separate form, then you will be called for interview and studio test, they call it. Okay. So in interview, you will be given another situational test. So I went there for this. I applied for to IIT Bombay also. So I went there and I was given कि redesign the Indian flag. वहाँ पे भी फिर एक creative ability test किया उन्होंने कि redesign. And obviously there are different domains to it. Okay, in IIT Bombay you have 5 branches, I think. There is interaction design, there is automobile and vehicle design, then there is animation, then there is product design, and one is visual communication design. These are 5. But rest of the IITs have common program. Like every the degree will be called interdisciplinary or something. In IIT Bombay, you get to choose a department, which particular part. In my institute, IIT Delhi, we used to approach because it's a generic, all the designs and everything, all modules will be taught to us. बट वो अपने मर्जी और इच्छा के हिसाब से, अगर इफ आई एम वेरी मच फोकस्ड अपॉन ऑटोमोबाइल, तो मैं इलेक्टिव्स जो लूंगा वो ऑटोमोबाइल डिजाइन के लूंगा। अगर मुझे यूजर एक्सपीरियंस डिजाइनर बनना है तो मैं यूजर एक्सपीरियंस के इलेक्टिव लूंगा। अगर मुझे प्रोडक्ट डिजाइनर बनना है तो फिर मैं प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन के इलेक्टिव्स लूंगा। दिस इज हाउ आफ्टर फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर, very much similar structure as in our bachelor of engineering courses कि पहला सेमेस्टर और पहला ईयर कॉमन रहता है, then next year onwards specialization वाले modules and subjects are introduced. So till the time of like my final year, अब देर इज टर्म कॉल्ड पोर्टफोलियो एज वेल कि आइडिया आप कैसा बनाएंगे। अगर आपको प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन में इंटरेस्ट है तो आप पोर्टफोलियो अपना प्रोडक्ट डिजाइन का बनाओ। अगर आपको ऑटोमोबाइल डिजाइन का में ज्यादा मजा आ रहा है, वो आपका पार्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है, तो आप ऑटोमोबाइल डिजाइन का बनाओ पोर्टफोलियो। अगर यूएक्स का है तो फिर यूएक्स का बनाओ। बेस्ड ऑन द पोर्टफोलियो यू यूज्ड टू सिट फॉर प्लेसमेंट एंड दैट्स हाउ वी गेट आवर जॉब ओवर देयर। So it's very big, but the interview part is, I mean, the checks and balances are very much tough. In mains, there is a panel. Whatever you have done, they will ask questions about it. Obviously, you have to present a few works that you have done in prior, and that also you have to explain it to the panel. And post that, you get a seat or you qualified and then get the seat. Seats are very less in IIT Bombay per department. Maximum seat is like only 20. वो भी पूरा नहीं पड़ता। I've seen like in the trend 16, 18 में। And another type for bachelors, again, they are like BDs, they have around 60s or 80s, 18 number seat है उन लोगों में। But for masters, only 20 seats are there. So the competition, and obviously it's a reservation, and all those criteria are applied over here. So this is where very bare minimum you can qualify all these exams and start your courses over here. NIDs, yeah, it's again a very much I kind of design education and learning. They have another kind of separate. They have a separate test. Also, let me make sure seed